Microsoft, you just can't get anything right. This month, I'm giving away a G Pro Wireless and a G613. Check out the description to see how you can enter. What's up, guys? Andrew here on my channel, GearedInc, where I get to share what I'm passionate about with you. To my channel, that's PC tech, games, and gear. Today, let's dive right into tech news and got a spicy one for you. So, AMD users, beware of updating to Windows 11 as you may be sacrificing more performance than even the potential 30% if you have VBS enabled. AMD has come out stating that they are working with Microsoft to resolve these issues, but basically, due to the way that the L3 cache works with the new Windows system along with Windows Scheduler, you may lose 3 to 5% in your daily tasks in terms of overall performance, and as much as 15% if you're hit with essentially this bad optimization in games. Now, that doesn't mean that this is everybody. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen all the time, but basically every AMD CPU can be affected. And so it's kind of one of those things where sometimes it'll hit you, sometimes it won't, or maybe it won't affect you at all. Personally, me using Windows 11 with my 5800X, which is on the list of affected CPUs, I've noticed no gaming performance whatsoever, but it's one of those things that can potentially happen. And so just keep an eye out for it. And hopefully this is something they'll be able to patch through, but just another good reason not to update to Windows 11 quite yet. Now, if you don't want to go with AMD, that's okay. Intel Alder Lake is supposedly going to be dropping on November 4th. This is due to basically a leak from MSI on one of their AIOs talking about getting the new brackets essentially ordered for these. And so they kind of spilled the beans a little bit. And I do expect that we will see these CPUs in early November. Good news for people who have DDR4 memory. Supposedly the new chipset will support DDR4, bringing it from the older system. However, the current performance leaks with this DDR4 memory are nowhere near as good as the previous leaks we saw where they were as much as 20% over current generation Ryzen. This may be due specifically to the fact that they were using DDR5 memory, or honestly, these benchmarks may not necessarily show the best optimization, so it remains to be seen, but it will most likely perform very well. Speaking of DDR5 memory, Corsair recently showed off their very well-known Dominator RAM. They've got kind of a little slideshow on the progression, and you know, it really just looks the same, right? Every generation, it looks more or less the same. But the Corsair Dominator RAM kit has been kind of one of the staples for very high-end RAM for a very long time, and I'm expecting that these will both perform very, very well and be incredibly expensive when they release. Now, if you've been trying to get a graphics card with absolutely no luck, Best Buy may have your back, but you're gonna have to pay. Best Buy recently released a new program for Best Buy exclusive members, which will cost up to $200 a year, similar to kind of something like Costco, where you'll have inside access to new releases and, you know, maybe stock that's not available to other customers. They haven't stated exactly what's going to be on the, you know, list of available products that either you'll have early access to or basically exclusive access to, although they've teased that these might be things like the consoles and GPUs that people are trying to get a hold of. I mean, nothing like a company making more money and ripping you right through the teeth, right? I totally get why Best Buy would do this because it's like a value add, but I swear to God, if GPUs and consoles are on this for them, meaning you have to pay to play, like I'll never buy anything from Best Buy until I have to buy something from Best Buy, basically. Speaking of getting GPUs, EVGA has actually said that they are going to prioritize people who have not bought a basically graphics card through them as far as getting them out into new customers' hands. Now, while I think this is kind of a good marketing ploy from EVGA, you know, obviously you could just create a bogus account and skip the line again, right, if you wanted to. But I think more this is kind of to satisfy the customers who've had their GPU recently blowing up in New World, which apparently hasn't gone away. So New World is still supposedly killing 3080s and 3090s, although there's some lower cards in the stack that are, you know, being fried as well. Jayztwocents actually did a fantastic video on some of the culprits of why this might be. I suggest you all watch it. I love Jayztwocents. I've watched him forever. I don't care if you like him, if you don't. I like him, and I think that was a very informative video on the power draw and why these GPUs might be frying. And so just make sure that if you are playing New World, that you're making sure to undervolt your card. Check how much your load is. Like, seriously, I have some friends who want to play it with me, so I'm going to be getting into it, and I'm going to be double checking that religiously as I don't want my 3080 to die. So there you have it, guys. That's today's tech news. I hope you found it helpful. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up. If it was terrible, leave me a thumbs down. Remember, get subscribed and hit that bell icon so you know when these videos drop next. Remember, there's like a day or two left to enter the giveaway if you haven't already. But as always, I'll see every single one of you next time here on GearedInc.